welcome to another episode of Raman Reasons. Before I go any further, I'd like to request all of you who are tuning in for the first time to subscribe to this channel, and for those who've been regular visitors to this channel, press the like button and also pass on the word to your friends. Now, let's get back to what we are here for, at least what I'm here for. I'm going to share my pleasure and my joy to all of you because India under Shubman Gill has created history. They won a test match at Edgbaston, even though India has been trying for 58 long years to do so. It didn't happen in the past, and it's happened at a time, and it's been achieved by a team which is least expected to do so. Shubman Gill was the lead star for Team India as he got more than 400 plus runs in both the innings put together, and he also captained the side reasonably well. Yes, for somebody who's leading in his first series, there are always moves that will be discussed, but again, people have to remember that Shubman Gill is a quick learner and he will only get better as he keeps leading the country in the future as well. Now, let's get back to a couple of moot questions here. Who would have thought 5 days ago that India would even think of winning a test match in the absence of Bumrah? Was it thought it was possible? I don't think so. But the man who stepped in for him has done a grand job. I'll get to that in a short while. And again, all the moves that were made by the team management came under the scanner as well, the changes that they made in the 11. Now let's take a look at all the moves that they did. They rested Bumrah, which by itself raised a lot of debates. They brought in Akashdeep into the 11, and I think he's done a grand job. Quite obviously, somebody who picks up 10 wickets on a flat track deserves all the appreciation. But what he did really well was to bowl a fantastic length right through the test match. And it's unbelievable that he could do so with such consistency, even though he's not been playing test cricket for a while. He's obviously come in his mind to prove a point or two, and how well he's done that. 10 wicket haul, and quite obviously another hero alongside Shubman Gill for Team India. And then the other move that the team management did was to bring in Washington Sundar. Of course, he was sent lower down the order, but he played a reasonable hand in the first innings. And the main objective behind bringing Washington Sundar into the side was to try and strengthen the lower order batting because India collapsed in both the innings in the first test. And the move to strengthen the lower order has also worked because from being 210 for 5, India managed to get to 587, thanks largely to the contributions made by Washington Sundar and also, of course, Jadeja, who was involved in a double century partnership with Shubman Gill. And that was the turning point of the game because it took India to a score of respectability and also provided a platform for India to go past the 500 mark. And then there was a lot of talk about not playing Kuldeep Yadav. Yes, that was something that was discussed as well. But the manner in which Siraj and Akash they put their hands up, Kuldeep Yadav's presence would have perhaps hardly made any difference. But that is not to say that he cannot win matches for India. India would need his services sooner or later in Test cricket because he's a wrist spinner and he's a very crafty one at that as well. Now let's see this Test match from Shubman Gill's point of view. A new captain loses the first Test and loses it rather by a comfortable margin to the opponents. And there's a lot of pressure because the key bowler is being managed as far as workload is concerned. And what does he do? He makes a few changes, and the pressure is on because the venue happens to be Edgbaston, and India has never won in the past. The best result has been a draw in 8 outings. And what does he do? He says, I'll rewrite history and I'll make a huge contribution to ensure that India creates history. He does it fantastically well. He follows up his 100 in the first test with a double 100 in the first innings of the second test, and then, not satisfied with that, he goes on to get a big 100 in the second innings as well. And that's the kind of contribution that one would expect from a captain. And a young captain has ensured that India starts off this cycle of WTC in a fantastic fashion. They are 1-all in the series, and it's going to be a great series. There were a lot of apprehensions expressed about this side, but now after this particular victory, I think the entire England side would begin to think that India should be taken seriously, and this side under Shubman Gill is no pushover. As far as England is concerned, they were quite obviously found wanting in that they've been playing an aggressive brand of cricket for a long time, and they've succeeded with those methods. But when it comes to playing out overs, when it comes to holding out for a draw, they've been definitely found wanting, and that's exactly what has happened at Edgbaston as well, because the pitch was really good. It was not really a rope pitch by any means, but yet they could not play out even 75 overs to try and give themselves a chance of drawing the test match. Yes, this will make Baz and Ben Stokes go back to the drawing board and try and see how best they can get things sorted out for the remaining three tests. There are a lot of things to sort out as well as far as their bowling combination is concerned, but even they got to try and tweak a little bit as far as their batting approach is concerned too. Yes, it's all well and good to say that we are looking to play aggressive and exciting cricket to ensure that people come to the venues, but it's also a case of a national side having to win now and then, if not on a regular basis. It's a very talented side, no doubt, but it all depends on how they go about in different sessions of a test match. For example, in this test match, there's only one session that England dominated, but otherwise it's been India all the way through. They shared three sessions with India as well, but apart from that, it was a total domination by Team India. One player who stood out for them was the wicketkeeper batter, Jamie Smith, and what a player he is! What a player, my word! That lad can bat. He's more than a safe wicketkeeper, and he's got a good head on his shoulders. And what's impressive about him as a batter is that the scoreboard doesn't really affect him at all. Neither do the conditions nor the reputation of the bowlers that he's up against. He just responds to the deliveries and is fantastic in playing shots all around the wicket. And his technique is also reasonably good. He's equally adept against the spinners and the fast bowlers alike, and he's got shots all around the wicket. The other rare thing that you get to see him do while batting is that he has neutral wrist, which is rather rare these days because modern day batters tend to hold the bat or grip the bat very tight, and as a result, they're more power oriented. But that's not the case with Jamie Smith. He can play shots around the wicket, and his game sense is fantastic as well. And in fact, Rishabh Pant and Jamie Smith together notched up enough runs to make it the highest aggregate of runs scored in a test match ever. At one stage, I was told that they had crossed the 350 mark in this test match. And by the time this series is over, those two will score a lot of runs for their sides, for sure. Both are exciting cricketers, both are young cricketers. Of course, Rishabh Pant has the additional responsibility of being a vice captain. Both are different kind of batters. Rishabh Pant is very aggressive. He has his own methods. He's very effective. Jamie Smith is more prim and proper, and he's also very, very dependable and solid. So it's going to be exciting to see these two young wicket keepers contributing and keeping the fans enthralled right through this series. All right, so it's all even Stevens now. One test all, three tests to go. Did anyone expect this kind of script? I don't think so. I, for one, would put up my hands and confess that I did not think India would manage to win the test, and that too, win by such a huge margin. There were some doubts about the efficacy or the penetrative abilities of the bowling attack that was picked in the final 11, but they have obviously proved a point or two in great style. Yeah, well done Akashdeep, well done Siraj and Captain Gill. There's no word left for me to appreciate your efforts in both the innings and also in terms of the achievement that you eked out in winning for the first time as captain, and also you created history by securing a win for Team India at Edgbaston, a venue which has not been the best for India so far. I wish you and your boys the very best in the remaining three tests, and I can't wait to see those three tests because things have really hotted up as far as the excitement is concerned, as far as the form of both the teams is concerned, and it can only get better in the remaining three tests. I only hope that the weather doesn't ever interfere in the remaining three tests so that we can watch 15 more days of enthralling cricket between these two great, exciting sides. Well done, Gill. Carry on, Gill, is all I will say as I sign off. And for you people, I would like to sign off by saying be good and stay safe.